All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen who are joining us today on channel 184 and also on Facebook Live. The faces that you see on your screen now are the members of Oldham County Fiscal Court and our County Attorney, John Carter, and also our Secretary, Sheila Fair. So I'm Judge David Vogel, welcoming you to our meeting. Our first part of official action in every meeting is to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. So I ask you to do that now. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We apologize for not having enough cameras available to be able to see the flag during the pledge, but the flag is in the fiscal courtroom. That's where I'm seated today, along with the County Attorney, John Carter. Our fiscal court room is open for anyone in the community to attend this meeting. We ask anyone who comes to the fiscal courtroom to please wear a mask and sit in the designated social distance seating locations. Now I ask our clerk, Sheila Fair, to please call the roll.
Magistrate Likens.
Here.
Magistrate Tice.
Here.
Magistrate Harrison.
Here.
Magistrate Greenwell.
Here.
Magistrate Hounds.
Here.
Magistrate Hawkins.
Here.
Magistrate Dye.
Here.
Magistrate Logston.
Here. Judge
Vogel.
Here. Having all members of the fiscal court present, this meeting is now in session. Is there a motion to accept the agenda?
Motion.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Nay. Motion carries. All right, now I'm going to ask Ms. Fair to please read the minutes from our last meeting, which was on June 2nd.
June 2nd, 2020. The Oldham County Fiscal Court convened at a regular meeting at 2 p.m. via video teleconference and aired on Spectrum Cable Channel 184 due to social distancing requirements amid the COVID-19 pandemic, with County Attorney John Carter, Judge Executive David Vogel, and the following magistrates in attendance: Brent Likens, Wayne Tice, Albert Harrison, Steve Greenwell, Chris Hounds, Stephanie Hawkins, Bob Dye, and Michael Logston. Motion made by Magistrate Dye, seconded by Magistrate Likens to approve the agenda, adding flood mitigation assistance grant contract and personnel action for Parks Department. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds, seconded by Magistrate Tice to suspend the reading of the minutes from May 19th and approve as submitted. Motion carried 8-1. Magistrate Greenwell voted no. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds, seconded by Magistrate Dye to recess the meeting temporarily to resolve an issue with video equipment. Motion carried unanimously. Motion made by Magistrate Dye, seconded by Magistrate Hounds to resume the meeting. Motion carried unanimously. Public comment, none. Bid openings for road salt. The following sealed bids were received for road salt. Cargill at $105.94 per ton delivered. Compass Minerals, $80.48. Detroit Salt, $86.71. Maxi Salt, $78. And Morton Salt is $86.95. Payables. Motion made by Magistrate Hound, seconded by Magistrate Tice to approve the payables. Motion carried unanimously. Community business. Public hearing for the CRA LGEA funds. As required by the Department for Local Government, the floor was open for public comment for the purpose of obtaining citizens' comments regarding the possible uses of the county road aid and the local government economic assistance funds. There being no public comment, the public hearing was closed. Second reading, public hearing for the fiscal year 2021 budget. Judge Vogel presented for second reading, public hearing, proposed ordinance KOC 20-220-37 relating to the annual budget and appropriations for fiscal year 2020-21. Motion made by Magistrate Dye, seconded by Magistrate Greenwell to remove the Rawlington Road project from the proposed budget before considering the adoption of the budget. Discussion followed. Motion failed 4-5 on a roll call vote. Voting in favor were Magistrates Tice, Greenwell, Hounds, and Dye. Voting in opposition were Magistrates Likens, Harrison, Hawkins, Logsdon, and Judge Vogel. Discussion followed. Motion made by Magistrate Lankin, seconded by Magistrate Harrison to adopt ordinance KOC 20-2037 relating to the fiscal year 2020-21 budget. Motion carried 6-3. Voting in favor were Magistrates Lankin, Tice, Harrison, Hawkins, Logsdon, and Judge Vogel. Voting in opposition were Greenwell, Hounds, and Dye. Motion made by Magistrate Hounds and seconded by Magistrate Lankins to approve the standing order for pre-approved recurring expenses. Motion carried unanimously. Oldham County Health Department Director Teresa Gamsky provided an update on COVID-19 and responded to questions from the court. KYTC agreement, Old Lagrange Road Bike and Pedestrian Trail Project. Motion made by Magistrate Lankins and seconded by Magistrate Logsdon to authorize the Judge Executive to sign Resolution 01060220 relating to the agreement with KYTC for the Old Lagrange Road Bike and Pedestrian Trail Project. Motion carried 8-1. Magistrate Tice voted no. Senior Center Cabinetry and Countertops bid award. Motion made by Magistrate Lankins and seconded by Magistrate Hounds to award the Senior Center Cabinetry and Countertops project to Smith Laminating Shop for $11,800. Motion carried unanimously. Contract agreements and resolutions. A resolution for reimbursement from COVID-19 relief funds. Motion made by Magistrate Dye, seconded by Magistrate Hounds to authorize the Judge Executive to sign Resolution 02060220 for CRF funds for reimbursement of expenses incurred by Oldham County relating to COVID-19. Motion carried unanimously. Flood mitigation grant contract fiscal year 16. Motion made by Magistrate Lankins and seconded by Magistrate Logsdon to authorize the Judge Executive to sign the revised grant contract relating to FEMA's fiscal year 16 flood mitigation program. Motion carried 8-1. Magistrate Dye opposed. Personnel actions for the Road Department and Central Dispatch. Motion made by Magistrate Logsdon, seconded by Magistrate Tice to accept the resignations of Kiefer Johnson for the Road Department effective May 29th and Chris Stess Dispatch effective June 3rd as submitted. Motion carried unanimously. Parks Department. Motion made by Magistrate Lankin, seconded by Magistrate Logsdon to hire Brian Clark as seasonal laborer at $13 an hour effective June 3rd. Pending background check. Motion carried 8-1. Magistrate Hawkins abstained. Board appointments. Assessment Appeals Board. Motion made by Judge Executive Vogel, seconded by Magistrate Hounds to appoint Larry Benzik and Mark Nasser to the Oldham County Assessment and Appeals Board with terms to expire June 2nd, 2023. Motion carried unanimously. Oldham Chamber and Economic Development Board. Motion made by Judge Executive Vogel, seconded by Magistrate Logsdon to reappoint Gary Hardy to the Oldham Chamber and Economic Development Board with a term to expire June 30th, 2023. Motion carried unanimously. Code Enforcement Board. Motion made by Judge Executive Vogel, seconded by Magistrate Hounds to appoint J. Scott Judy to the Code Enforcement Board to fulfill the unexpired term of Stephen Moss, term to expire October 16th, 2021. Motion carried unanimously. Announcements.
Sheila, I'm going to interrupt you for just a moment. I want to alert our technical people to the fact that I'm getting a notice on this computer screen that I'm down to very low power and it may evaporate soon. So I'm asking Kevin or Jay to see if that's a problem here. It says I'm going to lose power soon. So
Okay.
to that. All right. Continue, please.
Okay, just finishing the announcements from June 2nd. Judge Vogel offered his condolences to Becky Zocklin for the loss of her husband, George. A moment of silence was observed in honor of George Zocklin. Judge announced a special fiscal court meeting Monday, June 29th at 2 p.m. and the cancellation of the first meeting in July 7th. A decision will be made and announced in the near future if the county's annual fireworks show will occur as scheduled. Magistrate Hawkins announced Parks Committee will meet June 16th to discuss the viability of this year's fireworks show. Magistrate Logsdon offered prayers and words of encouragement for the country to begin healing and unify. Magistrate Greenwell believes this is the first time that all three members of the Finance Committee voted against the proposed budget at a second reading public hearing. Magistrate Harrison announced June 6th is the 75th anniversary of D-Day. He talked about the maintenance of state highways and reported on vandalism and nuisance activity in the Westport area. Motion made by Judge Vogel, seconded by Magistrate Hawkins to adjourn the meeting. Motion carried unanimously and the meeting adjourned at 4:30.
The judge went off.
We lost the judge.
Judge is offline.
Yeah.
Albert, were you going to talk about D-Day and that's not the 75th anniversary?
Yeah, it's 76.
Correct. That's what I figured.
I got more to say on it.
Am I frozen?
No,
No, you're fine.
Okay, thank you.
We're just missing the judge.
Did Albert say he had any more to say?
Yeah, I'm holding it up. This is the only thing published by the Courier Journal on D-Day.
That's the same thing they publish every year with Snoopy there, isn't it?
It's not the same. It changes slightly.
Mm.
Same theme.
Well, Steve, you're second in command, so you want to run the meeting?
thought it had crossed my mind.
I moved to adjourn.
Are we still on Facebook Live, Sheila?
Yep.
We are, yes.
Okay.
You're not on Spectrum.
Steve, is there anything we can discuss while we're kind of on dead air, waiting for the judge to get back? That
The only thing I was going to propose was a possible road committee meeting, special call the day of our next meeting, which is June the 29th, I believe. I haven't checked with Jim Silliman yet or Wes, but I will do that. It's possible I'm going to call a special call meeting because things are starting to get backed up. And then also we need to award the salt bid.
There we are.
There we are.
There's the judge.
Okay.
Okay, Judge, we just need to approve the minutes
But hang on just a second. to
last
get
time.
it the channel. Happy to be back from the Netherlands. Won't we be happy when July 1st gets here? All right, we're going again now. So if there's a motion to approve the minutes, we'll accept that.
So moved.
Second.
Any corrections?
Yes.
All in favor? Whoops, Magistrate Harrison.
Yeah, my comment at the end of the meeting about the anniversary of D-Day is actually the 76th, 76, not 75. Not sure what I said, but it's easy to confuse those two digits.
All right, Sheila will correct that. Are there any other corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed, nay? All right, motion carries. Go on to the first item on our agenda here today, and that has to do with the county administration. I believe Melissa Horn has appeared in the on the screen here. Melissa, welcome, and go ahead with the budget transfers.
Hello, Court. At this time, I'm asking for budget transfers totaling $268,283. This will correct for any budget shortfalls and individual line items. I'm hoping through the end of the year, but some of those numbers are a bit of a guess. So I may have to come back at the last meeting for a few more.
Judge, I'll make a motion to approve these transfers as described on
Second.
the exhibit.
Any discussion on the transfers? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next item has to do with the bills for the 2-week period. When you're ready, we'll accept a motion to pay our bills.
Judge,
So
I'll make
moved.
a motion, we pay the bills.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any questions for Melissa regarding anything that's in the bills this month for this 2-week period? All right, hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now we're going to say goodbye to Melissa, and I believe Polly Helton will appear on the screen here soon.
I've admitted her. She should be on.
Yep.
Pardon?
Can you see me?
We can hear you, but not see you.
Hear you, but can't see you. All right. Polly would like to talk about the 2020 Deceased Animal Farm Removal Program grant. Polly, I think you can go ahead. You can be heard, but you can't be seen.
Okay. All right. So we have the 2020 Dead Animal Removal Grant for $5,000 from the Kentucky Ag Department. We'd just like to authorize myself to act as the grant administrator for the Oldham County Fiscal Court to sign any agreements and any other related forms for this grant.
Commissioner Greenwell.
Judge, I'll make that in the form of a motion that we allow Polly to be the administrator for this grant.
Second.
All right. I do believe that I have to sign the grant, but Polly can be the administrator. I don't believe
This grant, actually, they put my name on it. Yeah, it just needs a representative. And we can cross my name out and put yours in it.
Judge, that'd be a question for John Carter.
Yes, you can scratch that picture, I guess. I don't know if that's, it looks like the governor's office already approved it.
Warren Beeler is the fine.
He's the executive director for
I'm
the.
the judge is the only person that actually can sign a contract for the court. So Polly will certainly have you as the administrator of it, but I think I need to sign it. And anything else that comes up with that, so, all right. Would you like to just briefly explain our dead animal removal program, please?
Sure. So we have a contract with Blue Line. They will go around, they will pick up deceased farm animals, livestock. They will also pick up deer. They do not pick up any small things like dogs, cats, possums. So there's a fee. I believe we've increased the fee to the public. It is, I believe we're now charging the public $95 per carcass because our fee went up to $150. So all someone has to do is call dispatch, and dispatch will get hold of Blue Line to come pick up a deceased farm animal.
Right. Are those also those aren't, we have a different group for the animals on the highway?
No, the state road department picks up on the state roads, and then Blue Line will pick up on the county roads.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for Polly on the Magistrate Logston?
No, I don't have a question. I just procedure. Does Steve need to amend his offer or his motion that you are able to sign instead of Polly?
Can.
I will agree to do that.
I'll second it again.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other discussion about the grant application or the grant? It's more than an application. Go ahead, Ms. Hawkins.
Polly, you had stated on our non-state roads, but they also will go into a private driveway, if I remember correctly. Is that still the case?
Yes, if somebody has like deer that have been hit and make it into someone's yard and die, they will go pick those up. It has to be on like close enough to a road where they can pull a vehicle. They don't want to tear up anybody's yard or anything like that. So people have to pull it up close enough to a driveway or some surface that a truck can be on, and they will pick up a deer there.
Thank you.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
Polly, did you say 75 or 95? I don't know if I heard you correctly.
I don't have the number in front, but I believe we were raising it to 95.
I thought it was 75.
I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's 75. And then Magistrate Greenwell, we had,
That's the number that I was remembering, Chris.
75.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 75.
All right, so hearing no further discussion on this, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next item that we're going to deal with today is the county road aid for the fiscal year coming up, 2020 here, 2021. The amount of money allocated for Oldham County from the Transportation Cabinet, Department of Rural and Municipal Aid is $592,409.38. This is for, work on our county roads. We hold out 3% is held out that goes into an emergency fund that if something significant happens in the county, bridge washes out or whatever, we're able to access that money. So when you're ready, I'd accept a motion to allow me to assign this agreement with the Department of Rural and Municipal Aid.
I'll make it motion.
Second.
Is there any discussion on it?
Question. Do we know what the difference is in this number and what it was last year, Judge?
Not off the top of my head, I don't. I believe it's a couple $100,000.
I'll make it motion.
Okay.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
it says it's either the new form, it has to be redone in the old cover letter. Is that because of the reduction that we took? I couldn't
Yes.
see, wasn't quite clear.
Right, had to be redone because the anticipated amount went down that they were going to provide.
So this just replaces the original document we
Yes,
did
that's right.
2
That's
months
right.
ago. Okay, thank you.
Sure. And that's down because our, fund receipts, road receipts are down. And gas prices down, people driving less because of the coronavirus, less gas being sold, less money coming into the state. So, every county in the state has had a reduction in its rural and municipal road aid. So, all right. I'm going to ask Ms. Fair to please call the roll on this. It requires a resolution that the fiscal court adopted this, and we have to adopt it by roll call vote.
Magistrate Tice,
Yes.
Magistrate Greenwell,
Yes.
Magistrate Logsdon,
Yes.
Magistrate Likens,
Yes.
Magistrate Hawkins,
Yes.
Magistrate Hounds,
Yes.
Magistrate Harrison,
Yes.
and Magistrate Dye.
Yes.
Judge Vogel.
Yes. All right. Motion carries 9-0. Thank you. Now we'll go on to personnel actions. Next item on the agenda today. Ms. Schaaf is here and can review those.
Good afternoon. We have 2 personnel actions today. The first one is for the engineer's office. It's a new hire, Michael Lee Thompson Jr. as the engineering technician at $24.10 per hour, and that's going to be effective July 6th. Do you want to do both of them at once?
We can. Are any questions on that engineer's office hire?
I'll make the motion that we hire Michael Lee Thompson Jr., an engineering technician.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All in favor, Magistrate Harrison?
Question.
Yes, I'm not clear on what his duties will be.
He is the engineering technician. This was the position that was previously held by Alan Bond, I believe. I don't have the job description in front of me. I would have brought that. I brought everything else but that.
Okay,
So,
that's close enough. Thank you.
okay.
Any other questions?
Question.
Magistrate Logston.
Tina, do you have an engineer degree, or I don't have his file in front of me, sorry.
Right. He is not an engineer. He's in the Navy Reserves, been there for 12 years. He's a heavy equipment operator for them, has experience in reading construction plans, blueprints, has all of that experience with the Navy, and he actually works at Costco as well right now, has been there for 8 years. Okay. So he actually interviewed with Jim Silliman and Vic Peak back in March, but we held off on the hiring due to the virus and all of that. So we're ready to move forward now with getting him started.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Next item, Tina.
It's a seasonal hire for maintenance, a laborer. His name is Blaine Schindler at $16.50 an hour, and that's effective tomorrow, the 17th. He will be helping out Rodney with all of the mowing, landscaping, wherever we need him. We don't have the inmate labor right now, so we're trying to fill some of these positions as fast as we can. I'm not getting a lot of applicants right now, but we're working on it.
Judge, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Discussion. Magistrate Logston.
Tina, when you say seasonal, how long will he go before, will be the fall to October, November?
As of right now, I would say probably till the season's over as far as mowing and landscaping and all that. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the inmate labor and how that's going to work. So as of right now, we're classifying him as a seasonal laborer, just like a pool employee, that type of thing, to help out with the mowing and landscaping.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. I might add right now that there are people viewing this on television or perhaps on Facebook. We are seeking applications for part-time employees. We have a couple of positions open that we could use to fill right now. And one of them has to do with helping keep the courthouse, environment free, I guess, or it has an environment, but keeping it free of the coronavirus. The courthouse is open back up. We'll be doing work there. This person, Mr. Schindler, will be helping there, but we also have mowing opportunities and just a number of jobs that are normally taken care of by our inmate pool that is not available at this point. So we're looking for other persons who are able to help on at least a short-term basis. We don't know exactly how long these positions will last, but if you don't have a position now, we'll be happy. Ms. Schaaf will be happy to talk with you, and perhaps if something can work out that will benefit both of us for a period of time. So now we'll go on to the next item on the agenda here. It has to do with board appointments, and the first one I'd like to ask is that we're very close to completing the agreement with MSD. We expect Metropolitan Sewer District to begin operations in Oldham County July 1st. Oldham County Environmental District will not go completely out of business. They will stay in business for, I'm going to say 60 to 90 days to clean up any paperwork that may go over the July 1st threshold. We need to appoint, we have had one individual there that needs to retire because of health conditions. And I'm asking that Magistrate Brent Likens be appointed to take that position for the short term that we're going to operate the environmental district. Brent is a certified civil engineer and certainly able to understand any issues that may come up at the closing of the agency. So is there a motion for that to accept this appointment? Magistrate.
So moved.
Second.
Question.
Magistrate Logston.
Judge, I'm sure you checked in on this because you're very thorough, but have you, there is no conflict of interest in being a magistrate and being on the board, is there?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, just want to make sure. I mean, I think it's a great idea. Great. Brent would be good at it.
Well, all right. Any further discussion on this?
I have one.
Okay.
Judge, do I need to vote or do I abstain?
You could probably abstain then.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Any other discussion on it? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion.
Abstain.
Thank you. One abstention. Thank you. On the Oldham board, yes, sir. Did I hear somebody speak? On the Oldham board, we have an appointment that's come up, and that is I'd like to ask George Flickner, also a civil engineer, former employee of the Corps of Engineers, now retired, be continued as a member of our Oldham Lagrange Development Authority. There was, George has done a good job of helping understand technical issues that come up with development of property, road building, and utilities, other issues that are involved. George has done a lot of that over the years with the Corps of Engineers and is doing a good job on the Oldham board. You may have seen in this week's copy of the Business First, a big article, about a 6-page article on Oldham County that it talks about the fact that we're very close to signing another company to come into Oldham Reserve. We hope that goes through. It'll require some additional road building, which is going to go on out there, and extension of utilities. So I believe that Georgia's expertise in these areas will be helpful in making that deal come through in a positive way. So is there a motion to reappoint George Flickner?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Magistrate Hawkins.
I have a question. Is this a paid position for the board, and is it the regular pay as other boards?
No, the Oldham board is a voluntary board. There's no one that's paid in connection with this board.
Okay.
The only boards that we have that actually do provide some compensation have to do with the Planning and Zoning Department, Board of Adjustments, Board of Code Enforcement Board, and I believe the Board of Assessments and Appeals. They're all linked to Planning and Zoning, which also the Planning and Zoning Commissioners all receive a monthly stipend when they attend a meeting.
Thank you.
So, all right. Did we have I think we had a vote there, didn't we, Sheila? No, it was all right. Motion, pardon?
Sorry. No, you just have a first and a second. You haven't voted yet.
Is there any further questions about Mr. Flickner? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. All right, now we are moving on to the Lagrange Fire Protection District Board. I'd like to reappoint Amy Alvey to the board. Amy has been board chairman for the past 4 years. I think we all know Amy, and she's an excellent public servant, done a good job with the Lagrange Fire District.
I'll make that motion, Judge.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now we're at the South Oldham Fire Protection District Board. I'd like to ask for the reappointment of Board Member Dennis Dybel. We all
I'll
know
make
that.
that.
Pardon?
Sorry, I didn't know you were finished
Well,
talking.
that's all right. Dennis served as mayor of Crestwood for 45 years, and I believe is the only member left of the fire board who had actually built with his own hands, helped lay brick to build a fire station. So I certainly appreciate everything that Mayor Dybel has done to raise the level of fire protection and the good government in Crestwood. Is there a motion to accept that, Mayor?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, motion carried. All right, I have two more here. At the North Oldham Fire Protection District Board, I'd like to appoint Tony Issing. Tony's a former member of the board, and he's now the environmental manager for a distillery in Frankfurt, and is very familiar with fire service. And I believe that he will do a good job as a board member.
I'll make that motion, Judge.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion on that? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposition? Motion carries. In Peewee Valley, another board member's term has come up, and that's Joy Tabler. Joy would like to be reappointed, and I think all the information I've received from the board at Peewee Valley is that she's been an excellent member, and very much enjoy having a lady on the fire board, another one. So to even that out. So is there a motion to reappoint Joy Tabler?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All right. Any discussion on that? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposition? Motion carries. All right, our last appointment here today is the Westport Fire Protection District Board. I'd like to appoint former Oldham County Police Officer Roy Franklin to the board. I think many of us are familiar with Roy, know that he's a good public servant and has lived in Westport perhaps his entire life. I'm not sure. He's been there a long, long time, if not, and I know that he'll be a dedicated and interested member of the board. Is there a motion to accept Roy Franklin?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Now we're down to what would normally be our second public comment. This is a fairly short meeting today. We've been here about 40 minutes. Don't have too much on the agenda right now. We're winding up the fiscal year, and we have one more meeting left this year. That meeting will be on the June 29th, I believe it is. Is that the right date? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, June 29th. That's the last Monday of the month, the day before the final day of the month. And that will be to basically pay the bills for June and to clear the way for the 4th of July celebration.
That's the 29th at 9 a.m., Judge.
Is it 9 a.m.? Okay. Well, it's, I have 2 p.m. in the minutes.
Yes.
I have 2 p.m. plus it's been advertised in the Oldham Era as 2 p.m. because that was what was discussed. It was, the motion was 2.
Well, then that probably said 9 at one time. Okay, 2. Got it.
Okay. All right, it is 2 p.m. All right, now.
On the 29th?
Yes, sir. That's Monday, the 29th, 2 p.m.
Over Zoom, correct?
Pardon?
On Zoom, correct?
Yes, it'll hopefully be our last Zoom meeting. I'm very anxious to get everybody back in the fiscal court chamber, to get back to our normal interaction. This is a great tool to use in some circumstances, but it's also cumbersome in others, and creates I don't know what, less than normal circumstance for us. So we like to be all back together. We can talk and, handle county business, I think, easier. Magistrate Greenwell.
Judge, why don't we make this one be our last one?
Okay. Well, the only reason I would say is that the governor said that the limits on group activities should be 10 or more through June 1st.
July 1st.
June 29th is not quite July 1st. So we could probably go ahead and do it, but we would be, going against the what we're told to do. Now, I'm open for discussion. If others want to do it, it's fine with me. Magistrate Harrison.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. As I understand it, we're meeting primarily for one purpose, and that's to approve the payables for the end of the year.
Yes, sir.
I don't think it'd be necessary to get everybody together just for that function. It should be a 5-minute meeting.
So what are you suggesting that we meet in the courtroom or on Zoom?
No, as much as I hate Zoom, I think that'd be a good time to do the last one. Maybe we can bury it at that time.
Well, okay. I think just to, hang in there and cross the finish line. We're ready to have a meeting in here. We have plastic barriers set up between the, take a shot at one. I don't know if I can get it on there or not. This is between the individuals, so we don't expose each other to anything accidentally or on purpose. It wouldn't be on purpose. But anyway, we're dying to get off this and get back to normal. That's for sure. Magistrate Tice.
Yes, Judge, we still have our July 7th meeting.
No. The 29th is to replace the 7th.
Okay, I wasn't sure, and I kind of thought that, but I didn't know that. But thank you.
That's Major Greenwell.
Yes, Judge, before we go making this a 5-minute meeting, the last one, we do plan on awarding the salt bid, I do believe. So there'll be one more item of to discuss.
Okay. It may be a short meeting, but it's not to say that something else couldn't come up. I mean, it's, the hits keep on coming every day. So I don't know what it would be right at this minute, but something may happen. Before we get any final comments from everybody here for today, I'd like to announce my plan at this point is to have the 4th of July celebration at Wendell Moore Park. We won't have the normal day-long activities that are normally held there because of the coronavirus, but we have enough area to space out there. We have the Oldham County Country Club. We have parking at the Oldham County High School. There are other areas to park where people can view the fireworks. So if, unless there's a serious, objection from a majority of the court, I plan to go ahead with the fireworks on the 4th of July.
10 p.m., correct?
Well,
9:30.
Normally I think we start about 9:30. I don't know where 10 p.m. came from.
9:30.
Pardon? I think it's been 9:30. It's when the sun goes down. It's somewhere right close to there. I would say 9:30, but if the sun's still up at 10, then it'll be 10. But I think it's pretty dark by 9:15 or so.
Okay.
Right. So, all right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I think that would bring us a little bit back into a more normal condition for the community. Of course, we all know that the Oldham County Day celebration for the 3rd Saturday in July has been canceled for this year. It's a shame we have to do this, but it wasn't our decision. It was the decision of the Project Guild because they have to line things up quite a ways in advance to be able to, tell people if they're going to be able to set up their booths and whatnot. So they decided they would forego it this year. And Right, let's see now if we have any comments from magistrates before we close out our meeting today. Magistrate Harrison, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yes, sir, thank you. Unfortunately for some of you, I've got several. First is a question, do we get anything worked out on our code enforcement officer? We've discussed this the last time, possibly talk to Lagrange.
Yes,
maybe get some.
right. We have had other personnel from planning and zoning have been working in the code enforcement area. And they're pinch hitters because our code enforcement officer is still not able to resume his duties at this point, but we have continued to function there with the department director and one other employee.
Oh, we can just send our issues to Jim Urban?
Yes, sir.
All right, great, thank you. Several things have happened. There's one event 2 days before our last meeting. I was not aware of it to announce it at the time. And that was the death of Bob Miller from over in the Goshen area. He was the first Republican to serve on fiscal court, served for 2 terms, founded Bluegrass Electronics here in Lagrange, and he'll be missed. But a lot of people today don't have any idea who he was. He left his mark, and people who served on fiscal court with him still have a few scars from the experience, I think. But he was a good person to have. On the 2020 census, they put out an announcement yesterday. They keep track of every county in the country as far as the responses to the census. And we are currently number six in the whole country at our response level, which currently stands at 80.6. There are only 3 other counties in Kentucky that are at 75% or above, and that's Spencer at 77.5, Bullitt at 75.8, and Boone County at 75. Everybody else is lagging way behind. And I told Claudia by email, Claudia Peralta with the Census Bureau, that I was going to make that announcement. I think a lot of this is due to her efforts and also to those of Kevin Nuss. So it'll be a vote of gratitude or expression of gratitude to both of them that we're doing that well. D-Day, I'm still kind of miffed at that. The only thing I saw in the paper was a cartoon, the Peanuts cartoon, another version of what Schultz does every year for D-Day. Plenty of ink about protests and demonstrations around the country, but not one word about the single largest military invasion in history. And we lost approximately 2,500 military people on that one day. But I hope they can do better in the future. From the Westport area, the Ohio River is down. It's as low as I've seen it since I took office. A lot of activity on the river, boat activity, and also people fishing from the shore. And that's good to see. The Oregon Creek Bridge replacement is still ongoing. It's got another 50 days or so for that. But I've not heard anybody complaining about it. So progress. And to repeat what I complained about at the last meeting, I'd still like to find some way that we can compel or encourage the state highway department to clean up the rights of way on their highways. We've literally got tree trunks in the ditches, and they've been there for a while. So if anybody has any ideas, I'm open to suggestions. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I agree with you. We would like to get the state to do that. We're told they don't have enough people to get it done. But and I would like to thank Kevin Nuss and other members of our Complete Count Committee for the census that began working on this 2 years ago. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but there are more than 3,000 counties in the United States. So to be number 6 out of more than 3,000 is something that we can certainly be proud of the citizens of our community for helping us all raise us all to that high level. And we're not often number 6 out of 3,000, but when we are, it's something we can all take pride in. Magistrate Hounds.
Yes, thanks, Judge. I got a couple of things. First is there's free COVID-19 testing today, tomorrow. It's probably over by now, but tomorrow and Thursday, you need to sign up at pre-register. I'm sorry, at thelittleclinic.com. If you just Google search free COVID-19 testing in Oldham County, it does pop up. Judge, I know you guys are working on getting some temporary labor, but I've got a few people that seem to call at least once a week and asking about the recycling center. Do we have an idea of when that might be back open?
Not until we have part-time help and also a place to pass the materials along. We accumulate materials, paper goods, plastic, aluminum, but we don't store it indefinitely. We have to be able to ship it out to other places. And one of those places we ship it to actually is Shelby County, as a transfer or accumulation station of some kind there. And we're handicapped until they pick up and start operating again as well. So sooner the better, I agree. But in the meantime, people just have to use the normal garbage disposal system to get rid of their recyclables. Unless they want to accumulate them at home until we're able.
I got one guy sent me a picture. He's got a stack of cardboard and bags of aluminum cans. He must drink a lot of Cokes. The other thing is and some I find this hard to believe. I don't do much walking, but I've been trying to ride my pedal bike regularly, and I'd ask people to try to be cautious. There's a couple of streets that I would say I ride down and drive down frequently, and it is a little bit difficult to maneuver around the bikers and the walkers. But people, please be vigilant of that. I saw somebody almost get hit this morning when I was riding my bike, and just ask people to slow down, obey the speed limit, stay off your cell phone, just be vigilant of your surroundings. The last thing that I have is I want to say some kudos to our law enforcement. We had a great showing of some people that wanted to peaceful protest in Lagrange a week or so ago, and our Oldham County Police, Lagrange Police, and Oldham County Sheriff's Department, they stepped up and made sure that the event went as smooth as it possibly could. There was a lot of planning that went on behind the scenes, and kudos to those folks for what they did. Hopefully that is as much as we have to do because of the protesting, but if it's not, if we have another one, we'll be, I guess, prepared. Also too, a lot of police officers I've talked to, both Oldham County Sheriff's Department. I don't spend much time in Lagrange, so I don't talk to those folks, and even some Metro people. If you see a police officer, tell them thank you for their time. Some of them, because of the actions of others, are getting a bad rap, and that's not fair. There's a lot of good police officers that are out there doing a job, putting their lives on the line to protect us. And if you get an opportunity, just say thank you to them for their hard work. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, Magistrate Hawkins.
If you haven't voted yet, the election is 1 week from today, and usually we're in session here during an election day, but this year we won't be because it's on the 23rd. And if you'd like to vote in Julie Barr's office, that requires making an appointment. Otherwise, all voting will be next Tuesday, the 23rd, from 6 a to 6 p at the Oldham County High School in Buckner. And I've heard people say it's just a primary, and yes, it is a primary. However, there's also a special election that date to fulfill the vacant seat of retired Senator Ernie Harris for District 26. So it's a big election. And it's more than, say, just a primary. It's a special election as well for those in Eastern Jefferson County and all of Oldham County. So I would just encourage everybody to vote either beforehand this week in Julie Barr's office in Lagrange, or on election day next Tuesday at the Oldham County High School. I get a lot of calls, just like Magistrate Hounds does, about the recycling center. Probably at least 2 calls or emails per day. And we have 1 full-time employee there, and to be determined, like the judge said, just be patient if you can with that. And I'm sorry it's still closed. So that's what I can offer, is apologies that it's still closed. The pool, people ask about the pool. I know this is something that is big on people's minds, especially people with kids that go to the pool annually over the summer, and that is still to be determined. The governor has allowed pools to open on the 29th of this month. However, we haven't seen the accommodations that will need to be provided by the county. And so that's just still to be determined, in limbo, and just be patient with us as well on that. I think you said this, Judge, but on the 4th of July, there won't be any festivities during the day. It'll just be the fireworks. So if you're there in person, put those social distancing things that we've learned these last few months into place, and don't migrate over to other people's groups if you decide to go there in person. So that's all I have. Thank you.
All right. Measure Tice.
Yes, let me go back to Julie Barr and the voting. I've already voted. I made an appointment, and it was just a great experience. So if you have time, it worked out well. She took me over and showed me how she has an office set up in the church, and she's doing a great job for the county, and that's a compliment for her and for all the people. So thank you. That's all I have.
Right, Measure Logson.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Just ask for patience through Crestwood right now. A couple of the railroad track crossings are being taken up, new tides putting in. Actually, traffic's moving fairly well through there. You just have to go up to the 22 and the Veterans Memorial Parkway and go around. Pee Wee Valley's kind of tore up right now in front of Town Hall. They're putting in pavers and putting in a new drainage system. A lot of times the Town Hall will get flooded during a heavy rain. So hopefully this will take care of it. So I just ask for some patience in Crestwood and Pee Wee Valley right now. Things are going smoothly though. Thanks to the mayor of Crestwood for putting a light in right over by Red Pepper. There's a light there in the middle of the aisle, but it's really not very good. And a lot of people are having problems seeing turn in. So he's agreed to put a light up there. So thank him for that. And I want to echo Chris Hounds about the police officers. We have a lot of great police officers here in Oldham County, and I just thank them for their service.
Measure Greenwell.
Thank you, Judge. I just would like to echo also what the other magistrates have said about our police, our law enforcement personnel, and simply stated, we have the best. We're Oldham County. They are very, very good.
Measure Die.
Yeah, a couple things, Judge. As far as the voting, I voted today was simple. Probably was in and out within a minute, maybe 2. So everyone should know that you can no longer get the mail-in ballot. That portal is closed on the internet. So you have 2 choices. You either make an appointment with Julie Barr's office, to walk in. The same procedure you would do. They check your ID. You sign an electronic signature thing, like you don't sign the book anymore. You mark your ballot, you slip it in the machine, and you're done. Or you can wait till election day, and then it's basically the same thing at Oldham County High School. There seems to be a misconception among some people. I've not seen it in my district too much, where people think that they're unaware that their polls are going to be closed. That the only place you can vote on election day is Oldham County High School. So that word needs to get out as much as we can possibly, because everyone should vote. I don't care what party affiliation you're in or who your candidate is. Just vote, because that's it's what we all should do. As far as the police officers, I've been an officer myself. There are a lot of good people with badges on, not just police badges, but fire badges or EMTs. They don't see people, in their jobs at the best of time. Say thanks to what they do. They are heroes. So that's all I got.
All right, Magistrate Likens.
Thank you, Judge. Just want to say about D-Day. I had a uncle, my mom's brother, that got killed on D-Day as a paratrooper. And people like him, 19 years old, sacrificed his life so that those people today can have a country to protest in. And they seem to forget that aspect. It bewilders me why people get out and they won't honor the people who he was just as alive as any of us sitting here was. I never met him, but just wanted to throw that in there and say Happy Father's Day to this coming Sunday to all the fathers in the world.
All right, thank you. It's a good idea, right? Father's Day, Mother's Day are important days for everyone in their families. And for those who have lost their mother or their father, it brings a special thought and a bit of sadness to a day. But if we have our own descendants and children, we can certainly enjoy those. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for being with us here today. We have one more meeting left on this Zoom that will be on July 29th at 2 p.m. to pay bills. Probably be a very short meeting with a minor amount of business, and then we'll be on to the new fiscal year. We're all looking forward to the things that we hope to accomplish for Oldham County and our residents in the coming 12 months. So appreciate everybody being with us today. Our time for today is up, and we thank you for yours and wish you a happy and safe day. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Meeting is adjourned.